Okay, I call to order the December 22nd, 2021 meeting of the Springfield Board of License Commissioners at 5:32 p.m. on Zoom. All commissioners are present, so we have a quorum and we can continue. First order of business is approval of the minutes of the hearing of December 8th, 2021. Commissioners, have you had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Anybody have any changes?
No.
Michael, you're on mute, by the way. All right, hearing none, I will make a motion to approve the minutes for the hearing held on Wednesday, December 8th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Now my speaker's off. Oh, wait, my speaker's there. Did everybody? Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
I still can't hear. My speaker's off, Andrew. Commissioner Espinoza?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano?
Yes.
Yes, thank
So
you.
you can't hear me, Mr. Chairman?
I can hear you now, Andrew.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
my speaker was off for some reason.
Okay.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is a hearing for change of manager for Wing Madness located at 1287 Liberty Street from Kevin Bennett to Desmond Mills. Is someone here from Wing Madness? Sir, I think your microphone is off.
Mine?
No, Desmond.
Okay. It's a gentleman pressing his screen. His name is iPad. Kayla, are you here from Wing Madness?
I'm right here. Yes.
Okay. And what is your role there at Wing Madness?
Hot bellies. I just took over to be manager.
No, you're from Wing Madness or no?
No.
Kayla? No. All right.
Desmond is from Wing Magnus.
Desmond.
Yeah. iPad.
iPad. Mr. iPad, you are still on mute. All right, go on while he figures out how to unmute. I'll move this to the bottom. All right, let's move on. Desmond, you have to figure out how to unmute yourself. We're going to move on to the next one. A hearing for change of manager for Hemel's Bar and Grill. Who's here from Hemel's?
Andrew Poiser.
Andrew. Okay. Anybody else here from Hemel's? No?
Orlando Roberts, I'm here.
Okay. All right, good. You are the owner, sir. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're the owner?
Correct, sir.
Okay, and you're appointing Andrew as your new manager.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Andrew, tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, I've been in the business a long time. I've been, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I've been in the business a long time. I used to manage Emerald City.
If I may, Mr. Chairman,
Hold on, Andrew,
Poser,
hold on.
can you appear on video?
Sure.
Please do. Thank you.
Everybody who's addressing the commission, please turn your videos on. Thank you, Namako. All right, Andrew, it's your
Yes.
show. Yes,
So yes, I used to manage Emerald City way back then, about 15 years ago, 15, 20 years ago.
Emerald
Kevin-
City, down here on Bridge Street?
Yes, Kevin Fagan.
Yes, okay.
And, so I've been, I know the business. I've been-
Battery's really low. 100%.
Okay. And those who are not addressing the commission, please shut your microphone.
Battery's 21%. So, no.
Andrew, is this going to be your job?
Yes, it is.
So how many hours a week will you be working at Hemel's?
About 30, 40.
Okay.
35.
Do you know how many employees you will have there serving alcohol?
Normally 2.
2 plus
Yeah.
you,
plus me. Correct.
so 3.
Yes.
She is.
Are you tip certified, Andrew?
Went on to the
Not
next
as yet.
item.
I will be.
You will be. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We need all of the employees who are serving alcohol to be tip certified.
No problem.
Okay, so you're gonna have everybody tip certified, print their certificates, and you're gonna keep it in their folder, in their personnel folder, and they expire, so they have to be renewed,
Yes, sir.
right? So if there is a serving to minors violation, for example, we want to see that person's certificate to make sure that they were up to date on their tips training. So it's important to keep everybody certified and renewed.
Yes, sir.
Got it? Okay. Where do you live, sir?
I live on 66 East Albert Street, Springfield, Mass.
Springfield.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever been a manager of record on a liquor license before?
No.
No. It's a big responsibility. You are responsible for what happens there, whether you are there, if it's your evening off and there's a disturbance, you are answerable to this commission. Do you understand and accept that responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Andrew?
No.
No. All right. Andrew and Orlando, you may be familiar with our process under the virtual meetings. We have it's called a bifurcated hearing. So you have the first part now, and then the public has a chance to view this video and weigh in on Andrew's qualifications for being a manager of record on a liquor license. And then in 2 weeks, we will take this issue up again and review any input and then make a decision then. Okay, so I am going to make a motion do you have any questions about that?
No, sir.
No, okay. I'm going to make a motion to continue this hearing to January 12th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
That's my sheet. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza,
Yes.
Mr. Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Yes, okay, we will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for coming. Happy holidays.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Happy holidays to you and your family.
Go.
Thank you.
All right.
Happy holidays. Take care.
All right. Desmond,
Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Yes,
All right. So you want to be the manager of record for Wing Madness,
yes.
located at 1287 Liberty Street. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the liquor related businesses.
Okay, well, my name is Desmond Miz on the record. I have from Connecticut. I have 2 wing stores in Connecticut, and we ventured into Massachusetts with a joint partnership with Kevin Bennett, who was one of the original owners.
Yeah.
Left the business. You have young babies, and restaurant takes a lot of time. So he's not the manager anymore. So I'm acting as owner manager in the same capacity with Kevin. I'm there a lot. I'm there like 60 hours a week. My experience with liquor is being working at Wing Madness, observing and see what's. But prior to that, years ago, I do outdoor concert events with the liquor was served in Connecticut. So I have some experience in that area.
Okay. Is this going to be your job, your full-time job?
Yeah.
Okay. How many hours a week are we going to see you working there at Wing Madness?
A minimum of 60 hours a week.
60.
Yeah.
Okay. How many employees do you have there selling alcohol?
1 second. There's somebody coming in. Hello? Okay, we have presently two persons selling alcohol.
2. That
Two
include
servers.
you or two servers. All right. So we
Yep.
need, go ahead.
Actually 3. Sorry.
There were 3. All right. So are all those servers tip certified?
Oh, yes, they are.
Okay. Are you tip certified?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, you need to get tip certified. You can take the course online from your liquor distributor.
Okay.
Okay, so you will see when you complete that course, you're going to get a certificate saying Desmond is now certified. And there's an expiration date on that certification. So you're going to want to keep copies of everyone's certificate in a file. And when they are ready to expire, they have to be renewed. So we want current certificates for everybody. And if there is typically in a restaurant over-serving situation, we're going to ask for that employee's tip certification to make sure they were certified. Okay, so keep everybody's certificates current. Where do you live, sir?
I live in Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford, okay. Now, as the manager of record of the liquor license premise, you are responsible whether you are there or whether it's a day off, and you're answerable to this commission. Do you understand and accept that level of responsibility?
Yes, I do.
Yes. All right. Commissioners, any questions for Desmond?
No.
No. All right. You heard me tell the prior licensee, I hope that this is a bifurcated meeting and we have to allow the public to weigh in on your qualifications to be a manager of record of Week of Madness. So we continue the meeting at this point and we will see you in 2 weeks for the second half of the meeting when we will vote. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I don't. What date would that be?
That will be January 12th. I keep looking.
January 12th. Okay.
January 12th, yes. Second Wednesday of January. Okay, I will make a motion then to continue this hearing to January 12th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks, Desmond.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
All right. Thank you,
Happy
guys.
See
holidays.
you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Next on the agenda is a petition for change of manager for Potbelly's Pub. Tom, do you want to do this now or later with the violation?
We'll do it now, Mr. Chairman.
All right, okay. You're
We're with Carlos Sarno, the owner of the establishment.
yes, I see
And
Carlo.
the proposed manager is also on.
Kayla.
Kayla. Hi.
We met Kayla already earlier. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, she has experience as a manager. She is tip certified. All servers are tip certified. And I think she's more than qualified. She understands the rules and regulations of Chapter 138. And I think she'll be a welcome addition to this establishment.
And she's there working there now?
I am Hi. I'm working at the Bryan Brew right now. I'm assistant manager there, and then I'm gonna be taking over Potbelly's.
Okay, so is this going to be your job?
Yes.
Okay, so how many hours a week are we going to see you there, Kayla, if we walk through the door?
About 25 to 30 hours. I'll be
30?
there.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Is Potbelly Pub open every night?
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm having difficulties. Hold on 1 second. My
She'll
thing
be
is.
there full-time, Mr. Chairman, on weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then on the slower days of the week, she will not be there full-time, but she'll be there part-time.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
I can.
Sorry, my phone, it started glitching. I'm sorry.
Okay. So
On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, she'll be there full-time. And earlier in the week, she'll be there on a part-time basis.
all right, I hope that's not problematic for you if there's a
No.
disturbance. I do, I hope not. Everybody's tip certified. Kayla, are you tip certified now?
I
All right.
am.
So we need to keep certification on every employee in a file,
Okay.
and they expire, so they got to be renewed.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Where do you live, Kayla?
I live in Springfield.
Okay. As a manager of record, you heard me tell the people before you, You are responsible for what happens on the premises. So if it's a Tuesday night and there's a disturbance, you are answerable to this commission. Do you understand and accept that level of responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for Kayla?
No.
No. All right. You heard me tell the other licensees, this is a bifurcated hearing and we continue it at this point. And in 2 weeks, we'll take it up again and take into account any public input on your certifications, qualifications for being a manager of record, and then we will vote then. So we will see you on January 12th. I make a motion to continue this hearing for change of manager until January 12th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Portion's done. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Kayla. All
Thank
right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I've been in discussions with your counsel, Nemenko for the commission about the
Aye.
violation.
Yes.
And if you would like to hear that now, we are going to stipulate to 2 of the violations. And we have a proposed agreement for a stipulated disposition of the matter.
Well, let me get these other ones out of the way, Tom, because they're quick. We have, next one is a hearing for change of manager for Pride at 77 West Street to Enrique Sue, I believe I'm saying the name right. Is somebody representing Pride?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chairman Signature, Commissioners, Attorney James Channing for the licensee Pride Stores LLC. With me is the proposed manager Enrique Sue.
Oh,
Hi. Okay.
hi.
Way of background, Mr. Sue has been employed with Pride since 2010. He started off as an overnight cashier and he's worked his way up to being a manager. He is a resident of the city of Springfield. He's tip certified and he appreciates the responsibilities and duties of being a manager. Oversee our 5 cashiers who are at that location. It is an all alcohol off premises license. He appreciates again the fact that he needs to ensure the laws, the responsibilities, and the oversight. We think that he's a good fit for that location. We certainly defer to you for any questions or inquiries at this point.
Okay, so how many employees are at that location selling alcohol?
We have 5 plus me, 6 of us.
6 total, and you are all currently tip certified.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so, and then you know that the certificates expire and you need to keep everybody current.
That's correct.
All right. And you live in Springfield and you've never been a manager of record before, but you've been there. Have you been at this store for 11 years?
Yes. Not at this particular location, but in the company I have been.
All right. Okay. So you heard me tell the other licensees, I'm sure Attorney Channing has explained this to you. It's a big level of responsibility. You are responsible for what happens at the store, whether you are there or not. And do you accept that level of responsibility?
Yes, I do.
Yes. All right. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Sue?
No.
No. All right. So I told the others, this is a bifurcated hearing to allow the public to voice their opinion on the qualifications of Mr. Sue to be a manager of record. So at this point, we will continue this hearing to January 12th. I make a motion to continue the hearing for the change of manager for Pride 77 West Street to January 12th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We will see you January 12th.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is a transfer of license for Pride Operating Company. And these are the 2 licenses located at 77 West Street and the Pride located at 1225 Parker Street. And who is joining us to discuss that?
Hi, good evening, Commissioners. Nick Amonte here for Pride Operating LLC, as well as Marcy Costa and Stephen Miller.
Okay. So you are representing the current owner or the buyer?
The buyer.
All right, so the
And,
buyer is going to be Pride Convenience Holdings LLC,
the buyer is Pride Operating.
Pride Operating. Okay. This was a doozy of an application. I tried following these LLCs and I'm like, okay, I give up.
I hope I can explain it a little.
Oh, yeah, well, by all means.
Okay, well, here we go. So,
Okay.
good evening, commissioners. Thank you for your time tonight. My name is Nick Amonte. I'm an attorney with Fitzgerald Attorneys at Law with offices in Monarch Place. We're here obviously for the petition to transfer the alcoholic beverage licenses from Pride Stores LLC to who we are representing, Pride Operating LLC, at both the 77 West Street locations and 1225 Parker Street locations. So Pride Operating, they're purchasing the liquor licenses currently held by Pride Stores LLC in the city of Springfield. The licenses, they're all going to remain at the same locations. There's going to be no operational changes. There's going to be no changes to the licensed premises. The managers will all be remaining the same, as well as the store employees. And we have Mr. Sue as the manager on the application, which you just heard the petition for that. So all of the individuals the License Commission has worked with in the past, they will be remaining the same, including Marcia Medina and Jim Channing, who just spoke as well. Marcia is the current LLC manager of Pride Stores LLC and will be remaining with Pride Operating to continue to oversee the operations. So this purchase is part of a larger asset purchase by ArcLight Energy Partners Fund 7 LP. Pride Operating, it's a subsidiary of that entity, which has been created specifically to purchase the liquor licenses and to hold all of the operational permits, the licenses necessary to run the convenience stores, gas stations, and package stores. And so Stephen Miller and Marcy Costa, who are here with me tonight, they are the attorneys for ArcLight Energy Partners and are involved in the larger asset purchase of Pride stores in general, and are here to answer any questions with that. So we have already submitted a copy of the application to the ABCC. And the ABCC should have provided the city of Springfield with a letter that if you haven't received it, it's on the way, stating that they've received the application and begun their review. So we've submitted, a complete application in compliance with all laws. Myself, Marcy, as well as Attorney Miller are here to answer any questions you may have. And I would normally ask you to approve the motion as it's presented, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen tonight.
So this is the first step in the purchase of all of the Pride gas stations. Is that right? And by transferring the liquor licenses, and then the real estate will follow?
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. It's a total purchase of the Pride operations.
Okay. And there are other liquor licenses in other communities?
Yes.
And
There are 5 others.
Oh, 5 others. And they're all
Yes.
being transferred to this same entity?
Yes, it's going to hold all of the permits and licenses. So all of the food, the tobacco permits, the CV licenses, all of that is going to be held by Pride Operating LLC. And but the operations themselves will not be changing. It's really just that change of that ownership entity.
Okay. Wow. All right. Anybody have any questions? First phase in the sale of Pride is transfer of the liquor licenses to the holding company. So, any questions? No.
No.
Namako, does this have to be a bifurcated hearing? Right, there he is.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
This has to be, all right, okay, okay. All right, if nobody has any questions, then I have none. I kind of figured it out from the application, but it was a doozy. I will then make a motion to continue this hearing to January 12th for final approval. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Signature, yes. Thank you very much. We will see you on January 12th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, commissioners.
You're
Thank
welcome. Next on the agenda is a petition for change of location for TJ's Wine and Spirits. And I saw Tyler here, I thought.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you are. Okay. So tell us what you're doing, Tyler. You're moving.
We're moving. The building that we're at has probably been sold. The landlord has served us an eviction notice, so we have to find a new location.
Oh. Okay.
We found one up at Haymarket Square. So we had our planning board meeting last week.
Yep.
And now we're at the licensing commission.
Okay. And they explained to you that that is a bifurcated meeting, planning board?
Yes, yeah, January 5th is our next one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then you would come back to us on January 12th.
Yes, I figured that out with the other 7.
Yeah. Do you have anything from have you met or at least contacted the Indian Orchard Neighborhood Council?
Yes.
Okay.
We have sent her an email explaining what we were doing and if she had any objections to get in touch.
Did you get a response?
No, because we had talked to her before because we were looking at maybe purchasing a piece of property. So they were aware for a few months now that we were in the process of doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But we sent her an email with the particulars at Haymarket Square this time.
Okay. Did planning board ask you to try to get a letter from her?
They said to make sure we got in contact. I did not get any response back from her as of yet.
All right.
We sent her.
Peter, this
Yes.
is Jane Mantaleski from Fitzgerald Attorneys at Law, representing Mr. Wilson and Tyler John Inc. And I did send out that email to the president, Zaida, and I have not heard anything back from her yet. So I will reach out again to her tomorrow. We sent the email last week. I'll reach out again to her tomorrow and see if I can get any response. But maybe with the holidays, she might be a little jammed up. But we should hopefully hear something before the 5th of January.
That would be great. Okay. So you're moving into, Jane, do you represent TJ's or Haymarket Square?
TJ's.
TJ's, okay. So you're moving into one of the storefronts in Haymarket?
It looks like the Chuck E. Cheese location.
The Chuck E. Cheese location, okay. No fights on the premises now, like they had at Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese, what, the little toddlers going at it?
Yeah, no, it was the parents. Yeah, it was on YouTube. And commissioners, do you have any questions for TJ's move to Haymarket Square?
No.
No, all right. I will make a motion now. We're going to continue to do January 12th, and you're going to be at planning board on January 5th, and then to us the week after on January 12th. Do you have any questions about that?
No, sir.
No, all right. I'll make a motion to continue this hearing to January 12th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza?
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Mr. Singleton, yes, thank you. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Happy
Have a good night.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Okay. Thomas, you are on again. We We have some.
Hey, Mr. Chairman.
We have issues here at Potbelly's Pub. Some,
Mr. Chairman, I've spoken to your attorney on the commission
yes,
over the last 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And he and I have discussed a resolution of this matter, which I would hope the commission would accept. We will stipulate to 2 violations. Namely, the no manager of record on the premises and failure to have operating video cameras on the premises. We would not stipulate to the first charge of permitting an illegality on the premises because the police report is replete with mentioning of shots in the area of Potbelly's and the Melting Pot restaurant, which were adjacent to one another. No shell casings were found on the scene or in the street or on the sidewalk, which would suggest to me that the shots were fired from inside a vehicle which quickly left the area. I would say it's impossible to predict or stop that type of violence that is permeated around our country. But we are willing to accept the stipulations to not having a manager of record on the premises and not having working security cameras. Your council and I have discussed a resolution which would be a 15-day suspension, 2 days to be served, the balance suspended for 6 months. And I would ask you adopt that recommendation from your council and myself.
can you discuss this camera situation? So is there lack of cameras or is it a non-working DVR is the problem?
The cameras were all working, but the hard drive was malfunctioning.
Okay.
So that's why they were not able to retrieve it. That is now operational.
It is.
Yes.
Okay. So I will pull out my little routine that I haven't had to share with the licensees in a while. You know, when you come in and you put the ice in the cooler, you slice up the limes and the lemons, turn the cameras on, record 5 minutes of video, play it back, make sure your DVR is working every night. Test the DVR, and then we won't have this situation again. So we don't know how long the DVR was not recording. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. And so that addresses the DVR, so it was a non-recording DVR. And so you could not provide the footage to the SPD. And so one of the violations, the next violation is failure to call the SPD to report a disturbance. So how do you address that?
Problem with that, Mr. Chairman, is this was late October. All the
Yes.
doors and windows are closed. It was closing time dispersing. No one inside Potbelly's heard any firearms discharged. And no one at the meeting restaurant heard any shots fired. So it's difficult to say, we don't know where the shooter was. Was he 30 feet away? Was he 50 feet away? Was he 100 feet away? They didn't hear it.
Okay.
And as I said, the police report is replete with references to the area of Potbelly's, not specifically stating that the incident took place in the parking lot. Although the victims who were shot were in the parking lot.
This is
We
October.
don't know where the
31st.
shooter or shooters were.
Shots fired that day. That was the fight outside.
Oh, there was a fight on October 31st is what we're addressing, not shots fired. It's a fight outside at what time?
It was down the street. Was not in the bar, wasn't in front of the bar.
So was the,
155.
all right, so there was a fight in the front on Main Street
Yes.
at 1:55 a.m. And have we determined if these were Potbelly Pub patrons?
Maybe.
Do you know about this disturbance that we're talking about? The fight in front? Or no?
Yes, yes.
You do?
Yes.
What do you know about it?
So I believe there were two incidents. The one was the week prior, the Attorney Rook is referring to. And then the second one, which I think pertains more to the violation itself, pertained to an incident that happened on the street, down the street from Potbelly's. Didn't happen in the bar, didn't happen in front of the street, happened even as the police report says, down the street from Potbelly's.
Down Main Street?
Down Main Street, correct.
Oh,
So the bar, everybody left the bar at 1:45. The doors were locked at 1:45. This is an incident that happened after the doors were already locked and all the patrons had left.
Left the
So
bar.
there was nothing for us to call on that we're aware of. The first time we saw or knew that there was an incident is when we saw the police lights outside at 1:55. Somebody else called them. We didn't know, we didn't have anything to call on. We would call if something happened inside the bar, but this didn't happen inside the bar. It didn't happen immediately in front of the bar.
And it also, Mr. Chairman, could have been patrons from the Melting Pot.
Or other bars.
Or other
in the area.
establishments.
Sure.
All right, hold on.
Closing time, a lot of bars. We don't know
Does
where
it
the.
say, where does it say the disturbance was?
It's on Main Street. It happened like a couple doors down.
A couple doors down
Well, it
from
says 168. So what number are they?
153.
It says 168, which would be
Okay.
across the street. But it happened on the same side as the bar.
Okay. Is there anything else open there at 1:45 in the morning?
No, there isn't.
Well, you have the Melting Pot, you got the
restaurant. Yeah.
Right. Tell me what this Melting Pot is. It's a restaurant that's attached
restaurant.
to the back? Is it, do you own it, Carlo?
Well, I own the building. My assistant manager, Israel Estrada, owns the restaurant. So he operates a restaurant. We did put, through COVID, we put a window there so we could provide food. The reason for that was to provide food for the bar because we don't have a kitchen in the bar. So we wanted to have food for the bar. So now we have food for the bar through the restaurant. So it's kind of one, I don't want to say it's one space. They're two separate businesses and we operate them separately from a legal standpoint. No liquor can go over to the restaurant and they have two separate closing times. So they operate independently.
When does the Melting Pot close?
I think he's still trying to play with the hours, whether he wants to stay open till 2 o'clock in the morning and able to serve food to the patrons of the bar. But I don't know if that's a successful business model for him or not too. You know, majority of his business is 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, dinner time hours.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So
Tell
from
us.
the bar standpoint, I want it to be food for the bar, which is the important thing now.
Right. So the disturbance was at 168 Main Street.
That's
And the bar-
significantly far away from the bar. That's not close at all.
I have a GIS system right here, Carl. It's
Yeah, and I don't know how that could really be our responsibility. I understand the argument is going to be that they were patrons from the bar. We honestly don't know if they were patrons from the bar. I don't know who all the other people were. It may have been some patrons from the bar. It may have been people from other bars. I'm not really arguing that. I'm just saying this truly did not happen really anywhere in front of the bar. It was kind of down the street.
Let's three buildings away down the street. Looks like.
Yeah.
All right, so commissioners weigh that. The disturbance was at 168 Main Street, but nothing except Potbelly and Melting Pot is open at that hour. Is that correct?
Well, Solmar, there's other bars in the area.
Solmar, okay. That's, Solmar is pretty far away, right? Okay. Let's move on now. No manager of record. When did Mr. Kravarotis leave Potbelly Pub?
When did he leave?
When did he leave your employment?
Yeah.
When?
When COVID hit, I really lost my ability to pay him, honestly.
So March of 2020?
That's approximately, that's correct, Peter.
Okay, so you haven't had a
And things were
manager.
chaotic, things were chaos.
We were closed down for a long time. It's hard to pay a manager when we're closed too. You know?
Completely
And it
closed.
was an oversight, but we acknowledge it and we accept responsibility for it.
That's a big oversight, not having a manager of record for 20 months. This is December of 2021, and he left in March of 2020. That's a big oversight, I have to say.
I don't remember 6 months.
So we have a violation of failure to provide adequate security. And that is because, tell us why with that violation, Barry, is there?
Well,
Before this, is it for this disturbance that's
It's for
occurring?
Disturbance.
All right,
Their security plan says they have 2 security staff on Friday and Saturday weekend nights. And the responding officers didn't notice or observe any security staff.
Carlo, do you have security staff on Friday and Saturday night?
100%. There was adequate security for the bar that night,
Two, this is.
all the way to the closing time.
Your security,
100%.
your plan says 2 security officers. You have 2 security officers?
Correct.
All right, are they identified?
Absolutely.
with a shirt that says Potbelly Pub Security? Tom, did everyone's camera freeze? No. Tom's did. Tom, I can't hear you. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. Can't hear you, Tom. Oh, look at that. Got 2 pictures now. You're muted though.
Attorney Rook, I think you are muted.
Yeah. Tom, you're muted.
You are muted on one and then on, well. I
Wow,
think
look at
you-
that.
You are appearing 3 times. So
Your little picture shows that you're muted, Tom. Are you muted? Muted. Zoom has worked great, isn't it? Except when it doesn't work.
Tom, you are appearing 3 times, or I should say on 3 separate screens. On 2 of those screens, it shows that you are unmuted. But on this particular one, I don't know if you can see me pointing the cursor. This one, you are muted, but I believe that is the one that you are speaking to us through. So if you could unmute yourself.
Uh-oh. Carl put his glasses on.
Yes.
How's that? Can you hear us now?
Look at that. With the glasses on and the
All right.
mic comes on. All right. So we're getting back to the security officers. You have 2 security officers on Friday and Saturday. Is that true?
Every single weekend,
All right.
honestly, truly.
All right. So
And they were there that night.
the police could not find them. Is that
Once the disturbance was
Well,
over.
it was 2 o'clock in the morning and the patrons had all left.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
What he's saying is accurate. So once. the
So I don't tell them to get involved in situations in the street. I don't think that's their
Okay.
job. I mean, if it's immediately in front of the bar, yes, to handle that, but certainly to go anywhere else outside of that, I don't think it's something they should be handling.
Okay. All right. And the failure by staff to assist and cooperate with the SPD was for this fight.
Yes, but he kind of explains it if they're out at 1:45.
Right. Okay. And exceeding the how many people were in the restaurant? It says you were exceeding the allowed capacity of 50 people. What's your occupancy?
There's 50 in the bar, yeah.
Were you exceeding 50?
50.
Report says you had more than 50.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
There's no officer that had observations of more than 50 in the bar. They're just basing it on the people that.
On the
outside.
crowd?
Correct.
Basing it on the crowd.
On the crowd.
All right.
Not
Okay.
any observations inside.
All right.
A crowd down the street, right.
Okay.
I mean, it's really hard to say that all of those people were inside the bar. If they came in the bar and they saw over 50 people, that's one thing. But to go 3 doors down and see 60 or 70 people, it's kind of unfair to say that all of those people were absolutely in the bar at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially, Mr. Chairman, when you have people leaving through the back door, people leaving through the front door, people getting their cars.
People getting picked up. I don't even know. I mean, it could be a series of things.
Okay. So commissioners, the proposed penalty is 15-day suspension with 2 to be served and 13 to be held in abeyance for 6 months. We normally hold.
Yes.
We don't normally hold days for a year, Tom. You know that, right? Namako, was that the agreement? 6 months?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions about any of these? I think we've addressed most of them. The DVR is now working. We have a manager. We have a manager we approved tonight, but we did have a manager, no manager for 20 months. And the proposed penalty is only 2 days served with 15 for 6 months. Thoughts on that? Anybody? We feel that's adequate?
I think it's.
Who's talking?
Yeah,
Michael?
That was Michael.
Andrew, who's talking?
I think Michael was saying something, but I just wanted to just indicate, I think we've been down this road before in reference to the DVR and the video cameras. I just wanted to know, was that hard drive replaced or was it malfunctioning? Question.
We replaced the entire DVD, the DVR rather. The entire DVR was replaced.
Okay, all right.
What is the retention period on those videos?
7 days, I believe.
Okay, that's a problem. 30 we need?
We usually say 30.
Our retention period is normally 30, so you're gonna have to buy some more memory. Okay, 7 days is not sufficient.
Okay, I will
All right.
address that.
So we're
I
gonna
will.
need a 30-day retention period as our standard.
I will meet that. You
All
got
right.
my word. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Andrew, you have
That's
anything
it.
else?
No, that's good. Thanks.
All right. I will remind you, I think at least Andrew was on the commission, maybe Rosa, when we had a package store who had no manager of record because the owner and manager of record died like 3 years before the disturbance on the premises brought the owner's niece to the commission meeting. And she had to tell us that the manager had died at least 3 years prior to the meeting and had never replaced him. And I believe the penalty there was immediate suspension until a new manager had been approved by the board. So I just want to call that to your mind. So when you're deciding whether a 2-day suspension for 6 months is sufficient. Everybody think that's okay, or you want to go longer, a year? Long more days served?
Probably one more day served and the year, because it's what we've done in the past for other establishments.
I agree with that. I think we should go to the year.
Who said that? Mike?
Mike.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, your attorney and I have suggested a 6 month. We would offer to go to 9 months instead of the 1 year mark.
Well, the suggestion by the attorney is not binding on the board. You know that, Tom, right? So our standard abeyance period is a year. I don't remember going less than a year.
That's correct.
John, you have any thoughts?
My thoughts, it's 2 days I feel is not enough. 3 days myself, I feel is not enough, being the fact that there was no manager replaced when, and for whatever reason, not able to pay him or anything, but that establishment should have came in front of the commission and said, we need to get a new manager. We let go the other one, whatever the circumstances was. 2 days, I don't think is sufficient. My opinion, I think a week is sufficient, and maintain what the commission has done in the past with a year. So try to keep a stability here. And Mr. Rook, I apologize that whatever agreement you might have had with the attorney, but like Mr. Signarelli said, that in Espinoza, we definitely usually do a year here. We have to keep all that other stuff into account of what happened in the past, and we got to make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. And with the camera system only holding 7 days is not sufficient. We need 30 days or more. I myself would like to have a week and a week and a year. So that's just my thoughts and my opinion, and we can go forward.
Week, when you mean 5 days or a 7 day week?
Okay, 5 days is good.
5 days. Michael.
Commissioners, I would just ask you, keep in mind that it's been a very difficult economical opportunity or time for every business in the greater Springfield area. And a 5-day suspension is going to be significant. We would agree to a 3-day suspension if you would reconsider your position on that.
Carlo, how long were you
closed? The 1 year mark.
Carlo, you said you were closed. How long were you closed?
I'll be honest, I don't really remember, but I think it was a good 6 months.
All right. Okay. Just curious.
And then,
Mike,
we reopened and City Hall was closed. There really wasn't a lot of ability to do things. And it really wasn't, honestly, I'm very involved in the business. There's no question about it. I'm the owner, but I kind of, I'm not the acting manager or the manager, but I'm very involved in the business. There was really no ability to make any kind of change. And then the focus really became trying to build business back. And I accept responsibility for that. I found somebody finally that's willing to work and become the manager that has qualifications. We addressed that tonight. Trying to work with you guys, and I appreciate you working with us. And again, I propose to accept the 3 days suspension with a 1 year in abeyance. I think if everybody can accept that, something we can live with.
Michael, thoughts?
Yeah, taking the COVID into consideration, I think a week is too much. I think the 3 days in a 1 year is where we should go.
Andrew.
Yeah, I concur with Michael in reference to 3 days and 3 days served and a year. Yeah, in advance.
Okay. It appears the commission has kind of a consensus that the penalty should be 3 days served and the remaining 12 days held in abeyance for 1 year.
Okay. That's acceptable, Mr. Chairman.
All right, I will make a motion then that we find a violation of failure to provide requested video footage due to a non-recording DVR, no manager of record, and failure to change the manager of record for 20 months. And the penalty be a 15-day suspension with 3 days served and 12 held in abeyance for 1 year. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay. Now,
Chairman, could I suggest that the suspension be on January 9th, 10th, and 11th?
let me see what days those are, Thomas.
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday?
Monday, Tuesday.
Every night.
Let's go with Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Who said that? Johnny?
Yes.
That is a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, about 7th, 8th, and 9th. That is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mr. Chairman, that's going to be an extreme hardship.
I know
mean,
that,
well,
honest,
they're going to
that's what
lose the
penalties are.
football business on Sunday, which is a very busy day for them. And Monday and Tuesday are agreeably not the busy time of the year.
No, I'm sure, right?
But Sunday's a big day for them.
Okay, but that's what penalties are all about, and working with the commission. And the commission is not happy that you did not have a manager for 20 months. So they are, I think, being rather forgiving with only a 3-day suspension. And thoughts, anybody, on what days these should be?
Well, in the past, we have done that, you know, the following weekend, meaning, for example, would have been this weekend. So already moving it, you know, later on in, you know, the first week of January, giving them a break. So I feel it should be this weekend or the weekend coming up. Well,
That would mean we would impose a great burden on Attorney Namako, who has to write up the findings and have them delivered to Attorney Rook, and he has 1 day to do that because we're closed on Friday. So what would your day of the week be is, I guess, the question. It can't, I don't think we can do it this week because.
So I think what I'm trying to say is,
yes,
we can say, you know, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th, or then you know, this weekend coming up, which would be the 30th, 31st, and the 1st.
That would be New Year's Eve.
Right.
Madam Commissioner, they have Christmas parties, New Year's Eve parties planned. That would be an extreme financial hardship.
And I understand that. This is why I'm thinking that the 6th, 7th, and 8th would be a better weekend to be closed.
Saturday, Sunday.
Mr. Chairman, I just would just like to just say that we've always given penalties on the weekend. So just to be fair to other people who have come before the commission, I think we have to do the same. And I do understand that the holiday weekend that's coming up would probably be a little too drastic, but we have to, I think, get a weekend for this penalty.
Including Sunday, Andrew?
That's correct.
So that would be the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thomas, the days are 7th, 8th, and 9th. Are we going to go with that? We're still in pre-hearing.
It's
Carlo, somebody?
Yeah, so
7th, 8th, and 9th.
I understand your position, commissioners. How about we kind of split that weekend in half and we make it the Saturday, Sunday, Monday? So you still feel like it's an adequate penalty, but doesn't really totally take the entire weekend away. So that would be the 8, 9, and 10. So we're kind of meeting middle ground there.
I don't think we've ever agreed to Monday or a Tuesday.
No.
Even a Sunday. Even Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we've never done.
I agree, Russell. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do Monday. No. So 7th, 8th, and 9th is the proposed days.
The 9th is what? Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I understand precedents count.
Yep.
And I'm a strong believer in precedents. However, we have this licensee here who has shown extraordinary remorse and have also made an attempt to remedy the charges that were leveled against him. I also recognize that my recommendations are not binding.
Yeah.
And the board should do what it deems fit by following the rules and regulations. But we had an agreement. The board, rejected the agreement, proposed a new sanction. Licensee has been very receptive and willing to comply with all that. Licensee is asking, in the spirit of generosity that you would, as it were, give him a different date in terms of serving the sentence. So I would suggest that the board hear him. They could have elected to go to final hearing and nothing will be done until next year. But as you can see, he's demonstrated good faith, admitted and stipulated to what we call it, the charges, and he's saving us all some time. So I think in the spirit of fairness and generosity, I think the board should hear him. Thank you.
Well, Namako.
Thank you.
Alicia has drilled into us that we must treat every licensee the same and issue penalties the same, be consistent. And what Rosa is saying is we never issue a closing on the least busy day of the week, a Monday and a Tuesday. And she's correct. We have to be consistent. So unfortunately, I disagree with you, Namako. So
duly noted, Mr. Chairman. It was just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes.
If I may, could it be that Thursday, Friday, Saturday? I'm just trying to help out here to try to make some up.
Could I recommend, could I make a recommendation?
Sure.
How about Saturday, Sunday, and the following Sunday? On 2 weekends, we could break it up, right?
I thought that was your big football day.
There's no football that day.
Yeah.
No football what?
There's no football that week.
And that following weekend.
I mean, it could be between 2 weekends, right? It doesn't have to be 3 consecutive days. Am I correct?
But, all right.
So maybe there's a resolution. Saturday, Sunday, and the following Sunday, whatever that date is.
Well, Michael has pointed out there's no real penalty if it's not a busy football day.
So it would be January 8th, 9th, and the 16th.
Right. No. Seeing shaking heads. No.
Yeah, I think we stick with what we have.
We're going with 7th, 8th, and 9th. So.
Yep.
We're doing that?
Yep.
Attorney Rook. Yes. Commission is sticking with the 7th, 8th, and 9th of January.
We understand, and we appreciate your willingness to try to work with us. Definitely appreciate that and respect your decision. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So Namako, the findings will be that the licensee will be suspended for 15 days with 3 days served, and those 3 days being January 7th, 8th, and 9th. We all done with this now?
Yep, I have recorded that.
All right. Thank you for coming, and we hope not to see you again in this capacity.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Now we have violation reports. Long violation report. All right. Delicious noise complaint, November 30th, which was a Tuesday. 20th, 28th.
30th.
Oh, this says 30th, and Barry's saying, oh, it's submitted on the 30th for the 28th. On November 30th, Lieutenant Sheehan submitted a report concerning the ongoing noise issue emanating from Delicious Restaurant located at 1333 Boston Road. Lieutenant Sheehan's report indicates that Officer Norris was dispatched to Delicious Restaurant for an unnecessary noise complaint. The complainant reported there was loud bass coming from Delicious Restaurant. Officer Delamarter later checked CAD records and located CFS 21-236707, which was initiated at 11:11 PM on November 27th. Officer Norris was dispatched at 12:28 PM on November 28th. Arrived at 12:33 AM and cleared this call with a disposition of no action required. At 12:38 AM, Lieutenant Sheehan responded to the area at about 12:47 AM to further investigate due to the numerous complaints of unnecessary noise coming from Delicious. He indicated call for service 21-236-746 at 12:47 AM. The call was cleared at 1:44 AM with a disposition of citation warning issued. Lieutenant Sheehan noted that he first checked the rear of the Golden Nozzle Car Wash at 1315 Boston Road and the parking lot of Applebee's Restaurant, 1349 Boston Road, where he did not hear any loud music. Lieutenant Sheehan then proceeded to Jurillas Drive and parked his cruiser adjacent to 145 Jurillas Drive, directly across the street from 148 Jurillas Drive. Lieutenant Sheehan exited his cruiser and was able to hear and feel a deep bass sound coming from the rear of Delicious Restaurant. Lieutenant Sheehan then proceeded to Delicious Restaurant to issue a noise ordinance violation. Lieutenant Sheehan spoke to a female at the front desk and asked to speak to the manager. A short time later, a male subject appeared and introduced himself as the owner. Lieutenant Sheehan asked this male if he was the manager on duty, and he stated he was not, but he was the owner. Lieutenant Sheehan then asked this male for his license to operate, which he refused to provide. Operate the vehicle, a motor vehicle, his driver's license.
I'm sorry, that wasn't even.
He asked for his license to operate.
No,
License to operate
the business.
the business,
Business.
which he refused to provide. The male subject also refused to identify himself to Lieutenant Sheehan upon request. Lieutenant Sheehan issued citation 223629 to Delicious Restaurant for the city noise ordinance violation. He noted that the male refused to sign the citation. Lieutenant Sheehan added that the alcoholic beverage license number 122600019 was eventually produced by the female receptionist as the male owner refused to produce it on request. Body-worn camera footage from Lieutenant Sheehan is available for review. This footage includes Lieutenant Sheehan walking to the rear of Delicious with Mr. Pimentel. Who's that? Who insisted they go to the back with some sort of device for measuring sound which is not required for the noise ordinance. As they are walking on the westerly side of the building toward the rear, the patio door opens and loud music can plainly be heard. This happens at 1:22 AM. Also captured on this footage is Mr. Pimentel telling Lieutenant Sheehan that I'm not going to give you anything. I don't have to follow nothing, that this is a bunch of lies and people lying like a mother effer. Mr. Pimentel identifies himself as the manager, but later states he is the owner and his son is the manager, but not there. Not there on a Saturday night, Sunday night? Okay, on November 30th. Officer Delamarter spoke to Officer Norris about his call for service. He advised him that he went to Jurillas Drive and had dispatch call the complainant back. He stated the complainant did not come out to speak to him and the lights in her home were out. He stated he could feel the vibrations from the base from behind Delicious. Officer Norris advised Officer Delamarter that he later responded to Delicious with Lieutenant Sheehan. As noted in previous reports, the City of Springfield License Commission Rules and Regulations under Section 2.20 titled Noise states that the licensees shall abide by the noise control ordinance of the City of Springfield. The rules and regulations also state under Section 2.06 titled Keeping of Rules and Posting of License that licenses issued by the License Commission shall be posted in a conspicuous place, easily seen easily by the public, where the license can be read without difficulty or assistance of employees. Licensees shall immediately and without question, discussion or imposition of conditions produce said license for the inspection upon request by agents of the License Commission, including but not limited to Springfield Police Department. It should be noted again that Derek Crespo, the manager of record listed on the 2021 license for Delicia's Restaurant, was not present. Mr. Crespo was also not present when officers responded on several other dates and times regarding this ongoing quality of life issue. On November 30th, 2021, Officer Delamarta was made aware of a Facebook Live video, which was posted on Sunday, November 28th at 6:40 p.m. by Facebook user named Jas Iglesias. This video is a little over 5 minutes in length. This video, a copy of which is available for review, shows the DJ inside of Delicia's Restaurant from a distance. Throughout the video, this male can be seen smoking. There's a white and red Delicia sign in the video hanging on the interior wall. Due to the distance at which the video is taken, it is not possible to determine what this male is smoking, but large puffs of smoke can be seen coming from his mouth throughout the video. There were several comments associated with this live video post. Facebook user Jas Iglesias posted at the time of the live video: Sunday for the salsa dancers at Delicia's Restaurant and Lounge, 1333 Boston Road, Springfield. Facebook username Astrid Santiago posted a comment at the 0.58 mark of the live video stating something to the effect of "start to drink and smoke hookah." Attached to this report is a screenshot from Facebook showing these posts. The posts were written in Spanish and Detective Robles assisted in the translation. As noted in a prior report dated November 3rd, concerning this establishment under MGL Chapter 260, Section 22, smoking is prohibited in public places, including but not limited to restaurants. Under this statute, smoking or smoke is defined as the lighting of a cigar, cigarette, pipe, or other tobacco product, or possessing a lighted cigar, cigarette, pipe, or other tobacco or non-tobacco product designed to be combusted and inhaled. On November 30th, Officer Delamarta was forwarded an email from another resident of Guerrillas Drive, Carl Moore. The email states, "I can't believe noise violations from Delicias at 1333 Boston Road continue still. It happens 1 to 3 nights a week. Friday, 11/26 was bad enough, but nothing compared to last night, 11/27. It has never been louder. There was even loud bass coming sounds after hours, possibly from the parking lot, but I'm not sure. For the first time in my life, I've been taking sleeping aids, which I doubt are good for my health. I use these in addition to a fan and a recently purchased white noise machine. None of that helped on Saturday night. This is all because nobody that's supposed to help us does. I don't call the police because I know they do absolutely nothing for us. I actually believe they are working against us. The mayor's office has been no better. Why has nothing been done about these continuing violations? I took a day off from work to go to a hearing at City Hall a couple months ago in which 3 of my neighbors testified. The city lawyer didn't want my testimony, supposedly because I'm in a butter. Oh, is this man just too rich and connected? Longtime taxpayer Carl Moore. SPD requested that Delicia's Restaurant and Catering Corp., DBA Delicia's Restaurant and Catering, located at 1333 Boston Road, Derek Crespo, manager of record, be charged with the following: violation of 204 CMR 2052. No licensee for the sale of alcoholic beverage shall permit any disorder, disturbance, or illegality of any kind to take place in or on the licensed premise. The licensee shall be responsible whether present or not. 5 counts, to wit: 1, failure to abide by City of Springfield noise ordinance; 2, manager of record not on scene; 3, employee owner refusing to identify himself to officers upon request to do so; 4, failure by employee/owner to produce the licenses upon request; and 5, violation of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 270, Section 22, smoking in public places. In addition, SPD requests that this report be forwarded to the Office of Mayor for an entertainment license violation hearing. City of Springfield rules and regulations for entertainment license states in part that licensees shall abide by the noise control ordinance of the City of Springfield. Unreasonable noise means any noise plainly audible at a distance of 100 feet. And in the case of an amplification device, the words unreasonable noise means any noise plainly audible at a distance of 50 feet. A police supervisor and 2 residents of Guerrillas Drive heard this under unacceptable noise on November 27th, 2021. Into the early morning hours of November 28th, 2021, one resident stated in an email that the noise had never been louder than it was this evening. The licensee continues to cause a disruption to the quality of life to the neighbors of Drurillas Drive. This licensee was found responsible for violating the city noise ordinance following a September 13th, 2021 entertainment license violation hearing stemming from an incident in August of 2021. The licensee served a one-day suspension of his entertainment license as a result of this hearing. The licensee, in the 4 months since that incident in August, continues to flagrantly disregard the City of Springfield noise ordinance and has refused to identify himself to the responding officers and supervisors, as well as failed to provide his establishment's licenses to operate on request to do so. So, suggestion from SPD is a violation. Do we want a pre-hearing conference on this? After I read all that?
Yeah, pre-hearing.
Yes, pre-hearing.
Make a motion for pre-hearing conference. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano.
He's muted.
Michael, you're muted again.
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Thank you for not making me read all that for no reason. Pre-hearing conference, Namako. Oh, thought we were done.
Mr. Chairman.
More tea.
Yes, I was gonna recommend you get some water there, Peter.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, is there a possibility of having at the pre-hearing conference the copy of the camera footage?
Barry.
That would be at the final hearing, not at
The body camera footage.
The body camera footage.
Yeah, I mean, usually don't you witnesses and video at a final hearing, not a pre-hearing? That's
Okay, all right.
I don't know. Namako? Commissioners would like to see the body camera footage at the pre-hearing conference. Can we do that?
You know, if I were still around, I probably try to make that happen, but I won't be around, so I can't make promises. But if Officer Barry can obtain the body footage, give it to me before I leave, I will hand it over to Alicia, and then she will take it from there.
No.
Namako, that all has to be done through email to the supervisor who oversees it, so I can forward you his information.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or I can forward it to Attorney Days and she can request it. And what he'll do is send her a link that will allow her to view it.
I see. Now I get it. I watch that when I do CPHB. You probably won't be able to get that for the pre-hearing, but I don't know about the final hearing because I think I don't know. But anyway, it can be tried. It doesn't have to make an effort. So yeah.
So possibly, Andrew.
Okay, thank you.
What I'm hearing. Okay.
Yep.
Historically, the commission has felt at a disadvantage for because they were not able to review video that was supposedly available. So I think that's where the request is stemming from, and I don't think it's unreasonable.
I think.
Let me ask you, Barry, can we have that on a flash drive? Is that possible? Or even a
Put it
CD?
on a flash drive.
Or a CD?
Or a CD.
I don't believe so. I believe it has to come from a link from the supervisor that runs that unit. I can confirm with him next week, and I will send an email to you and Attorney Days. I believe one of you will just have to reach out to him with a request. And what he does is send a link that can be viewed. I don't think it's on a thumb drive or a disk. I don't believe they do that. I think it has to be in an email with a link.
Okay.
Can we all be sent that link to view?
I don't know if you can all be sent that link.
No.
I think,
I don't think so.
again, that's something that Attorney Days might know more even, but I'll have to talk to the supervisor in that unit. Like he can share it with me because I have access to, they call it GTAC. So I can go in there. So he can share other officers with me, but I can't share theirs. Permission has to come from the supervisor of that unit, which, I mean, this is the first time we're kind of dealing with it.
Yeah.
But I would absolutely encourage you to watch it. I think you would get a lot of, again, it would be worth watching. I would recommend watching it. So I'll touch base with Attorney Days and the supervisors, and we'll figure out how we can do that. I'm assuming she would be able to share it maybe
During the meeting?
during the meeting, I would assume.
Okay.
That body cam footage is seriously guarded. When I do CPHB and they don't provide the footage to me in advance, I have to go to the police training school to watch it there. So, but we will see.
What's CPHD?
Community Police Hearing Board.
Oh.
Springfield Community Police Hearing Board. Yeah.
Okay.
I know defense attorneys request it and they have to send them a link. So I'm assuming they'll handle it the same way.
Okay.
I think the only thing is, the attorney for Delicious may object to that. He may not want you to see that video, especially if he's seen it before. He's probably not going to want you to see it.
We will see it anyways. That objection will be noted for the record, but we will still see it.
Okay. All right. So that one's set up for pre-hearing conference, and we have another report. Delicious Disturbance, December 3rd, which was a Friday. On Friday, December 3rd at 11:36 p.m., Officer Whitley was dispatched to 148 Jurlis Drive for an unnecessary noise complaint. Call for service 21241190. The first narrative entered in this call for service states, caller wants to speak with officer regarding ongoing loud music issue from Delicious Restaurant on Boston Road. Officer Whitley, according to the call for service, arrived at 11:49 p.m. and cleared this call at 12:38 a.m. on December 4th with a disposition of assist given. Officer Whitley added the following narrative on December 4th at 12:38 a.m. Spoke with complainant about her concerns. Music was turned down prior to officer clearing call. On December 7th, which is Tuesday, Officer Delamarter called and spoke to the calling party from this call for service Marie Prouty of 148 Drills Drive. She confirmed that she called the police numerous times last week due to the ongoing issue with the base coming from Delicious Restaurant. She stated that late Friday night into the early morning hours of December 4th, Officer Whitley spoke with her at her address in regards to the ongoing issue. Mrs. Prouty stated the base was audible while she spoke to Officer Whitley. On December 9th, Officer Delamarter spoke to Officer Whitley. She confirmed that she was dispatched to Jurlis Drive and she spent some time there speaking to the calling party about the issue with the base. Officer Whitley confirmed she could hear the base coming from Delicious Restaurant while speaking to the calling party at 148 Jurlis Drive. As noted in previous reports, this address is well over 50 feet away from Delicious Restaurant, which is the requirement for amplified music. Right. SPD requests that Delicious Restaurant Catering Corporation, DBA Delicious Restaurant and Catering, located at 1333 Boston Road, Derek Crespo, manager of record, be charged with the following violation of 204 CMR 2.052. No licensee for the sale of alcoholic beverages shall permit any disorder, disturbance, or illegality of any kind to take place on, in or on the licensed premise. The licensee should be responsible whether present or not. One count to wit, failure to abide by City of Springfield noise ordinance. So we have a different police officer on a different night. Another pre-hearing?
Yep. Yes.
I make a motion for a pre-hearing conference on this violation. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, so that one's a pre-hearing as well, Navajo. And then we have entertainment license shot spotters for your reading enjoyment. Does anybody have anything else?
No.
No. Okay. This is our last meeting with you, Namako. Is that correct?
Very well, Mr. Chairman. It is
There
my
you
last
are,
meeting.
relaxed on your beach, with the palm tree swaying. And if we all pitch in, do you think we pitch in enough and we'll keep you or no? That's a definite.
Well, you know what? Why don't we
Yes.
then, and then we can go off record and maybe have, you know.
Okay, let's go off record then. I make a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Motion to adjourn